going, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for stopping by levelM. You know the place. Majorette on tap today. We do have our first Japan series stuff. I do have a lot of this stuff to cover in the coming week. We're going to kick this off. This is the tuner kits set. They do come with tuning parts right here in the box. Nissan Safrio A31 is what we're going to start with in green. There is the deets on the back of the container, the blister card, should you want the UPCs or any of that stuff like that. So we're just going to get right into this one. Get this guy cracked open. Pop, pop. Get the box out of there, hopefully. And they're pretty tight. So there we go. Get that popped out of there. There we go. Get our Safrio out of there. Whoop, dropping it. All right, so there is our Safrio. There is the deets on the top. Looks pretty good. It's Majorette.com, Michelin, Bilstein, some Japanese characters there as well. Not exactly sure what that says, but I'm sure somebody can chime in on what that might be. Looks okay. It's got the old school dual 5-spoke wheels. Not a big fan of that wheel. Does have full deets in the back though. So it says Drift on the plate. It's got a Japanese plate. Nissan up in the taillights there. Super small print. Looks pretty good though. This one has an opening hood. There's no print underneath the hood or anything like that, but it looks pretty good. Nonetheless, I do like the yellow lights in the front. The lens lights, of course, that's because the window itself is yellow, and then the base deets right there. Pretty average. 1/58 scale, and of course it does have suspension. Now it does come with tuner parts. So there is your tuning parts in this particular box. So I'm not sure how many parts will be in here. I'm assuming maybe a base piece and maybe some wheels. It's exactly what it is. So there is a base piece right here. Of course, it does say Majorette on there. Make sure you know it is their deal. So this one has exhaust in the back, molded in, and then it's got some front mount type situation in the front. This just pops right onto the base. So we'll get that up there. Hear it snap. So it snaps right there on the bottom. So this still rolls around just fine, but it has this nice crazy kit on it. And then of course it comes with some bigger, wider wheels. These are rubber, and they just slide over the existing tires that are on there. Some of them are a little bit easier to get on than others. So sometimes it might be a little bit easier to get these on before you put the tuning kit on. But for me, I like to put them on to get the full effect. So fills up that wheel gap extremely nice. I mean, look at the difference between the front to back. So quite dramatically different. And these are just simple slide-on rubber tires. I mean, this is one of the easiest, simplest design choices. And whoever designed this over at Majorette is a genius. Get our last one out of there. There are no stickers or anything in there, so just a few parts with a box. Of course, this is the Japan Series Deluxe. That's what the series is called, in case you're wondering why it's titled Japan Series Deluxe. We'll get the other one mark on there. I do like the way this kit looks for the most part. It doesn't really fit that well in the back. Unfortunately, it just doesn't mesh with the body. The rest of it's perfectly fine though. Even the front looks good. Meshes with the bumper and all that stuff pretty good. But just that back end just doesn't look all that good. But as you can see, even with the wheel tire extensions and the kit on there, it runs perfectly fine. No issues there whatsoever. So it looks pretty good. I guess we'll set them up in the little trays in the back there. All right, next one we're going to take a look at our Suzuki Carry. Suzuki Carry. It's a brand spanking new casting, by the way, from Majorette. So we'll pop open our Suzuki Carry. The little hole in the back here to assist you in getting the model out. There we go. Man, these are just like super in there. There we go. Get our Suzuki Carry out. So obviously Majorette is a little bit bigger scale than normally. So this would be supposed to be, well, it is a K truck, but the size is just a little bit bigger. It does say Suzuki there on the front. There is a little bit of print there on the front of the hood area right there. Just say Carry So a little bit dark. Do apologize about that. But the Suzuki symbol on there looks pretty good. All the details around here is pretty good. It does have an opening tailgate, which is insane. Didn't think they'd do that, but it has an opening tailgate, which is super cool. Some taillight prints on the back as well. I like this wheel choice. It looks pretty good. That is like a neon yellow ring on there as well. And then base deets. See if they give us a scale on this one. 151 scale. So definitely much larger scale than what we're normally used to. There's a little notch in the back there. So this will probably come out with canopies on the back and stuff like that. So let's see what we have for our tuning parts on this particular one. So we do have a giant roll cage. It does have a couple of molded wheels in the side, but a little detail on the back. It's probably for an accessory to add it on. So we'll go ahead and pop this on. So this does snap right into that little hole that I talked about in the back. Here we go. Snaps right in there. Fits the front end just fine. Looks good. Nice roll cage on there. Nice beefiness. So looks like this should pop just a little bit underneath the canopy. This one's a little bit off on the molding, but this side you can see it pops right underneath there. So a couple different spots to pop in. Looks pretty average. Now there should be an accessory piece, which there is. It's a little like a moped bike. So not a motorcycle, just a little average kind of go around the town kind of bike. It's just a solid piece of plastic, and then it just snaps in the back here. So snap in the front. There you go. The wheel snaps in, and there you go. There you go. There is your Suzuki Carry. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. That motorcycle is probably pretty close to scale as well. The molded tire on the side is actually really close too. That's not something you typically get when anybody makes anything like this. And yes, don't you fret, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it fits. It fits in the little stand piece right there, just fine. All right, let's move on to our next one over here. We're going to take a look at our Toyota Hiace. Your Toyota Hiace. This one's probably going to be my favorite one. I'm just being frank with everybody right now. I think this one will probably end up being my favorite one. I can't guarantee it'll be my favorite one, but I am extremely impartial to the Hiace. I really like the Hiace a lot. So get this guy popped out of there. Get the tuning parts out. Get the packaging out of here. Comes in a little tray here. Pop the tray out. There we go. Maybe. Ooh, man. Pain in my butt. All right, so this guy does sport a brand spanking new wheel from Majorette. It is kind of a small, flat-faced 5-spoke. That's actually a really cool wheel. I think that wheel looks really good. It looks especially nice on this one. This guy does have a little bit of suspension, but there's pretty much zero suspension travel on this one. The orange lights in the front look good. Of course, that's part of the window. Toyota symbol, a black painted hood, a cheerleader on the side, some cheerleader manga, and then there is some more lettering and stuff like that. And of course, it does say Majorette.com at the bottom. Full deets in the back as well. It does say Hiace. Fine prints on there look excellent. Excellent, just like you'd expect from Majorette. And then taking a look at the base deets. This one happens to be a 169 scale. So a very weird scale for this one. But the Hiace is a relatively larger vehicle. All right, so tuning parts. Ooh, super shiny gold. So we'll get out our super shiny gold. Oh, look at that. This guy only gets one single tuning part. One single part. He just gets the gold base. Super shiny though. Looks really good. So just snaps right on the bottom. These little holes you see down here, that's where they snap in. A couple of snaps there. So we'll get this around the wheels. Super tight fit around the wheels. There we go. And then snap it on. It's definitely not quite on in the front, it looks like. This one is a little bit of a tight fit. Let's see here. Difficult to get it around the tires, that's for sure. There we go. Doesn't appear that it connects anything on the front end. I definitely don't have it backwards, but It's not wanting to really snap in there like the other one did. So don't want to push it too much. See if it, yeah, it needs to go in just a little bit more. You see the flex? The flex in that base. I just need the base doing a little bit more. But if you look at the front end there, this is pretty much maxed out. There's like a huge thickness to the bottom of this. I can't quite get it to get into there. But that's the look. I mean, the wheels still spin. Not super great, but they do. But I do like the look of it. It does look good. I do like the gold chrome, but it just, you can see it just doesn't want to snap into there like it should down here in the bottom. I had it snapped there, I thought at first, but it's just not cooperating right now. So it's unfortunate, but you still get the idea. I just won't be able to roll it around currently. But that actually looks pretty good. It's pretty slammed. It's pretty slammed. Not super slammed, but it's basically on the ground. It's basically on the ground. All right, next one up, Nissan GTR, the R35. This has been a relatively popular casting for the few that we've gotten here in the U.S. Haven't gotten too many of these, but they do try to give us as many as they can. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this particular deco released here in the U.S. Just with some rubber tires. So just be prepared for that. That's more than likely going to happen. So there is our GTR R35. It does say Nissan on the side, Majorette, Bilstein, Michelin, number 23. Does use the 6-spoke, which is a pretty good wheel. Full prints in the back. Says Nissan and GTR on there. Taillight prints are done up. The wing is open. So not a solid piece of metal like most die-cast manufacturers would do. Looks pretty good. There is details in the front. That GTR symbol in the grille looks pretty good. This has kind of a neon yellowish window. You can see it's kind of an antifreeze color. Really cool for the headlights. Not so great for the windows, but I think we can live with that. And then, of course, this guy does have opening doors. Pretty nice interior in there. Definitely not something you'd see from Hot Wheels or Matchbox. That is one good thing about Majorette. And then your base Dietz 1/62nd scale. For this one, of course, he does have suspension as well. Take a look at the tuning parts here. Clearly, we're going to get a base piece that is pretty common, and we do get tires. So, tire taken off. So we'll pop our base piece on there. Pretty obvious which direction it goes. So the only thing you got to get it around is the wheels. The wheels are a little bit tight. The body is never an issue, but other than that, it just snaps right on there. It looks good, and you hold it even in front of the base here, and it's not going to go nowhere. So there is the body kit from the back, which is all right. It doesn't really blend that well with the exhaust, but the rest of it looks pretty good. Details on the side, it's pretty average. Obviously, a different color body kit would probably look better with this one. And then the front looks pretty decent. Again, not super great, but pretty decent. So we'll get the wide body tires on there, which is always going to make a massive, massive difference. Get the ones on the back. Again, these are rubber, so they are relatively straightforward when you put them on there, but it is a tight fit. It's a very, very close fit. They are definitely designed to fit very tightly so that they don't pop off. And sometimes you got to tweak them just a little bit to get them lined up perfectly fine, but it's really not that big a deal. See, like this one's just a little bit off. Get that last little piece in there, and then of course they roll just fine when everything's put together. But it looks significantly better with the wide tires in there. So definitely digging that. Looks good. Details from the bottom, some nice big fatties. Looks good. You know, not super great, but it looks good. So we'll throw that guy right there. All right, next one up, Nissan Z. This is a new casting as well. So Nissan Z here in pink color. So we'll get this guy cracked open. The cardboard pieces and stuff, packaging and all that good stuff like that. There we go. Get the Z out of there. Two pieces on the plastic for that, and then the tuning crate And yes, they are designed to be crates. They got fake doors on them. So there we go. So there is our Nissan Z, Nissan 400 it says on the side. It's got some dragon detail, some neon wheels. Looks really, really good. This definitely looks like a good candidate for a drift car for sure. Details in the back, full prints, says Nissan and Z. Nice crisp prints. You can read everything. I really like that about Majorette. You can read all the prints. Looks good. Nissan symbol in the front. And then it just says Nissan 400. Lens lights, like all of them always are. Does have suspension. Some pretty decent suspension. This guy also has opening doors. There is a gray interior. Details look pretty good for that. You can tell it's a steering wheel. There's a shifter in there. Seats, center console, all that good stuff like that. So good details as Majorette always does. And then of course our base deets. This one is 158 scale. But a lot of wheel travel in the front. Looks pretty good. All right, so here is our tuner kit. Now, there is a chase piece in this mix. I do not have the chase piece, but there is a chase piece in this tuner mix. It is a Supra. Of course it is. Of course it's a Supra. But it's the new Mark IV Supra that they've done, which looks pretty good. It's in gold. So this is the body kit piece. It is in chrome purple. It's got a wing in the back, so you're going to want to put the back in first. And then pop your front in. Weird. This one's really, really weird. I like the wing in the back. I think the wing is nice. I like how the kit kind of goes up. It's just, I mean, it doesn't fit very well, so you can tell that it's totally like added on, like totally fake. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get. The side's not that bad. I wish the kit went further forward in the side, but the reason that it does that is that you can open the doors, so that is why that doesn't go all the way to the door. They specifically designed it like that way, so you can still open the door while the kit's on. And then there is some deets from the front. This is a very interesting kit. It's not really meant to fit the car flush. See, there's a lot of gaps on the side here, which is very, very interesting. It's not actually like connected to the car or even touching the car. I just think that's a very interesting look, but I do like the wing in the back. I just don't think the execution of the kit itself is all that well. Now, you do get the wider tires. So we'll put the wider tires on there and just see how it looks. Because clearly, it's going to be significantly better in the fit and finish with the additional fat tires on it. So we'll get those popped on there. Get the other ones popped in the front. There we go. So huge difference. Now, the front does not roll that well with them, but they still roll. But the back ones do perfectly fine. It definitely looks significantly better with those, but it makes the model look a bit beefy, at least in my opinion, just a little bit beefy. It looks good from the back though. Nice big wide tires. It definitely looks like it's gonna do some serious track time, but it's a very interesting model. It's a very interesting model. At least in my opinion, I think that's a very interesting model. All right, moving on to the one that probably everybody wants to check out. This is your brand new Civic Type R. This is the EK9 brand spanking new casting from Majorette. So this one looking relatively average. I do have several more of these Civics to take a look at as we get through some more of this Majorette stuff that we have. So get that guy out of there. The EK9, that out of the packaging. So this guy does have an opening hood, not a removable hood. Some of these JDM cars have had removable hoods, specifically the Skyline. But this one looks pretty good. Just a 4-cylinder down in there. It's Type R, so I'm sure you guys know what that is down there. Couldn't tell you my Honda engines. Blue tinted windows, so that's why the front lights are blue. Hood closed, looks pretty good. Just says Bilstein Honda Civic with the number. I do like the decals on this. This is another brand spanking new wheel from Majorette. This is their four-spoke double spoke wheel. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Not a super great wheel, but I think it's necessary for this Japan series stuff that they're doing. It does have some print for the holes in the bumper. Those are prints. Those are not actually holes in the bumper. And then it does have the line through the plate, VTEC on the plate, Civic Type R. The prints, of course, nice and crispy. You can read them. And then there is, of course, a half roll cage in the back of the car, as you can see. This does have this accessory piece fixed to the top. So that means it's going to come with some kind of accessory to add to the top. So we'll see what the accessories are that we have here. Of course, it's going to have a body kit piece here at the bottom. This is just a relatively simple lip kit with a center exhaust tip on it. This one is super, super easy. Just a nice flat piece. Just snaps right on there. Now, see, this one looks absolutely fantastic. This one fits awesome. It looks good. This looks like an actual lip kit you would have added to your EK9. Side skirts on there look good. The details in the back. Not a huge fan of that center exhaust, but you know, the diffuser that comes up, it looks good. It looks legitimate. It looks like, you know, something that you see somebody actually do up. And of course, it doesn't sit all the way on the ground, so it will still roll just fine. You can see the wheels roll just fine. Looks pretty good, as a matter of fact. And then got an accessory to put on the top, which is just a basic spare tire. Because every Civic owner is going to put, whoa, throwing it out there. Every Civic owner is going to put a spare tire on the top. Definitely never going to happen. But I kind of like the look. I wish it would have been their cargo container top. That would have been perfect. You can easily put one of those on here. But it doesn't come with one. I think that would look way, way better if it had one of those cargo containers on the top. But it's a pretty good casting. It's a pretty good casting. I think this will be popular with customizers as well. That one's a pretty decent one to boot as well. All right, so there you go. There is your Japan Series Deluxe kit with your tuning models and all that good stuff like that. Couldn't quite get the base on that guy, but not a bad mix. Maybe tone down the colors a little bit. Other than that, I think it's a pretty solid mix. So drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about those. Tons more Majorette stuff coming down the pipeline. Tons more. So we're going to get rolling on other videos. Appreciate you guys. Catch you next time. LMD